Alright, here's my new to me 1971 Wheelhorse Raider 10. Just picked it up last night. Got a pretty good deal on it because it died when I was looking at it and it wouldn't start back up. And the motor appears to be locked up. So let's see if we can get this thing running. Pulled off the mower deck already. Thing's going to need a little bit of work. A couple wheels and some welding. But I did notice the starter is kind of like extended out. So I think that may be my issue. I think if we're lucky, that starter will be jammed out into the flywheel, and we can get that starter going again, and then hopefully have a running tractor. And our second bolt is right there. And bolt number 2. Oh yeah. Alright, well, we got the starter out of there. Ooh. Yeah, she's still locked right up. Just pulled the spark plug out. Doesn't look too bad. Let's get a better light and take a look in the cylinder. I mean, doesn't look that bad. Let's pull this side cover off to the flywheel. See if we can get her to spin over at all by hand. All right, I think now it's a good time. We're going to put a little bit of diesel in the cylinder. We'll let that soak in. See if the rings are stuck or something. Alright. So apparently the guy said he used to mow his lawn with this all last summer. And I'm like 2 minutes away from picking it up, and he messaged me and says, "Hey, just seized up." I was like, alright. So got a pretty good deal on it, but hopefully we can get this thing running, save a little headache trying to motor swap it. Check the oil. Oh yeah, it's a bit low. I did get the engine freed up by working it back and forth. There's definitely a couple real tight spots, so I'm probably going to add a little bit more diesel, let it sit overnight, maybe add some more oil, and rotate the engine over by hand a couple more times. So we got her turning a little better. I think it was just low on oil. I added about 1.5 quarts of oil to get it up to the full mark. And after rotating it around, after adding oil, it got a lot easier. So I think the plan is now, I lubricated the starter with some PB Blaster. So that's moving a lot more freely now. Too late to test it. I think tomorrow I'll throw the starter on, throw the flywheel cover on, crank it over without the spark plug, shoot all the diesel and penetrating oil out, and we should be good to fire it up. Alright, side cover back on. Let's see if she cranks over. Not bad. I think she'll run. Fingers crossed. Alright. The ground on the motor was just smoking. I don't know if you guys saw that. That ground right there was just smoking and sparking. So I'm going to pull that off, clean it up, get a better contact, so hopefully we can crank this thing over a little quicker. Well, that should have fired. So, let's check for spark. Alright, we got spark. So, why isn't it firing? I'm going to pull out this spark plug, and let's clean that up with the wire brush and see what happens. This spark plug is wet with gasoline, so we are getting fuel. Let's clean this thing off and see if we can get it to fire over. Alright, just cleaned off this spark plug. Off camera I just checked it for spark, and it does not have spark. So this plug we know is good. This one, no spark, so I'm going to have to buy the first part so far. Let's go to the store and grab another plug for it. Okay, let's give her another go. Come on, so close. A little more throttle. Well, that is awesome. She fired up. Took a little bit of messing around with it off camera. Brought in another battery. Gave her some extra juice and away she went. Now that it's warmed up, let's drain all the oil out. Put in some fresh oil. Alright, while we're waiting for the last of the oil to drain, we're going to take a look at the steering. I believe this is how it's supposed to go, where it's mounted on the top. This was on here just hand tight, and they had it on the bottom. And I believe it's been rubbing this bump stop. So I'm just going to pull this out and flip it over so it doesn't hit that anymore. All sludge in there in the oil cap. Definitely good that I changed the oil. Steering is looking good now. Got that on the top. I brought this in about 5 turns or so, and I brought this in about 2 turns. Before, the wheels were towed in, so they're like that. Now they're both straight. And I just noticed there's a bunch of grease fittings, so let's get her greased up and she'll be steering like new again. Alright, well, I'm really happy that this motor got freed up and got it running. It'd be really nice to keep it all original. I think I'm gonna end this video about here. We got the oil changed, greased the front end.